Like, first of all, I grew up in, like, excessive dysfunction. Like, I didn't have a bedroom. Like, it was a rooming house. There was, like, people everywhere. Okay. And I worked after school every day and before school sometimes, too. So there wasn't, like, a lot of time to do homework. And then also, like, I cannot, for the life of me, write a sentence. I can't do it. I know that there's, like, parts of a sentence that need to be there. There's, like, participles of some kind.
How you doing, Jennifer?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great. What are you pointing at?
I fell into that trap. I'm pointing at the cat.
You're pointing at the cat. Hi, Marley. How you doing? Marley, you have anything you want to add to this conversation? Cool. How's your day been? I'm tired.
You're tired?
I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I'm tired.
Baby voice is the worst. Like, I don't...
It's a lazy voice, honestly. Like, it's not creative. There's no effort. And you just, like, let your lip droop. Tired.
Yeah. I don't think I ever talked in baby voice.
No, I've always had pretty. I've always sounded like this. I've always had pretty good diction. I think.
At like 4 years old.
Yeah, mom, dad.
Yeah.
Brother, sister, supercalifragistic. I've always had pretty. I was reading like pizzeria signs at like 2.
What?
Yeah.
I feel like I did too, but there's a twist. So my mom thought I was deaf.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Okay.
Because I didn't speak. She also thought that there was something wrong with my legs because I didn't crawl.
Walk. You didn't crawl.
I didn't crawl.
You took a long time to crawl.
One time I tried to like pull myself, and it was like, you know, a dog that has one leg that doesn't work.
Like a tripod?
Just dragging myself, and I was like, oh. So she checked, and they did the
I thought you were gonna say a dog trying to wipe his butt, but you made it a lot sadder.
Yeah, because that's my story.
Your entire like upbringing, like your early years are pretty intense, man.
Yeah, it seemed like I wasn't going to be able to make much of my existence.
No.
But joke was on them. My first like real actually I did say words here and there, but my first like real sentence was first day of school. My mom's going up the stairs to on the school bus to follow me, and I turn around and push her and go, "Moms, don't go to school." And I was like, "Oh my God, she can talk."
Mom.
Yeah, my first words were disses. I love it.
Your first word were disses?
Disses.
Oh my God. I wish my first words were disses. Instead, I'm pretty sure it was cheese.
Your first word was cheese?
Pretty sure it was cheese. I know my sister's was meow. I think mine was
Why?
cheese. Because I have an eating problem. Welcome to I'm Trying, episode 28, everybody. We're so glad you're here. I'm Jacob Derwin.
And I'm Jhanelle Dennis.
And we love cheese. We're very glad you're here.
Speak for yourself.
You don't like cheese?
I love cheese.
Come on. What's your favorite cheese? Favorite cheese.
It's evolved.
Oh, yeah?
It's evolved.
Same. Sure.
Munster now.
I love a Munster.
I didn't know what it is because I always used to be so scared when you see was it charcuterie?
The charcuterie? Yeah. Like the whole cheese board.
When you see that, because I don't like...
Cured meats and fruits.
Yeah, trying new things is kind of... Like,
I don't think of Munster as a cheese board cheese. I think of it as kind of like a deli cheese.
Well, whoever was one of my broke-ass friends had Munster on the charcuterie.
Was it next to the American cheese?
It was next to the Kraft singles, yes. They were folded up into little origami swans.
Eat your science, people. Okay. Munster. I feel like I liked Munster more as a kid. I still like it.
I didn't know Munster existed until like 3 years ago.
Wow.
And Brie, I didn't have until like 3 years ago.
I was going to say, I've gotten
Very
way more into like the soft cheeses as I've gotten older. Like your Brie, your other ones that I can't think of right now because I'm tired.
Cheesecake.
I love
the best cheese of all.
The best cheese of all, that cheesecake. It's cream cheese is what that is.
Yeah.
Gotta love that cream cheese.
That sounds so disgusting in theory.
It's so good. It's so good.
But in theory, though.
I mean, what, putting sugar in
and
cheese?
And it's made of cream cheese. And we're just going to add some sugar
maybe it's not
palatable.
It's not that weird to me. I feel like I've liked it for so long that it never really got weird to me.
I hated cheesecake for most of my childhood just based on that fact.
The assumption alone?
Yeah, based on the assumption alone.
Wow. What else did you hate as a kid that you like now?
Not Limp Bizkit. Oh.
We're back.
How dare you? How dare you? Now I have to erase the number from the whiteboard and go back to 0. Oh, man. We were doing great. We made it like one episode.
We made it one episode without me mentioning them. But I've been itching all week, thinking about when I'm gonna bring.
Oh dear. No, I hear you. I have some old music that I can't enjoy as much anymore. Like I used to be a massive Green Day fan.
Oh, September's almost over.
It is almost over. And if someone can go wake Billy Joe up. Green Day isn't that good, and they're going on tour soon. And all my friends who are still into them are talking about it. I'm just like, nope.
You're like, no.
I would not spend money on this. I'm sorry.
Is it all the original members?
Yeah, it's only 3 people. Green Day's only 3 people. It's not like it's hard to get
Kelly,
together.
Michelle.
I thought you were going to go TLC for a second. You said you were Destiny. I appreciate that. It's very good.
Yeah, remember when that member of no, why do I keep saying Blink-182? Remember when that
Green
member
Day?
of Green Day died? Oh, so tragic.
Which one?
The one that rapped in all the songs. All right, our guest on this episode is the hilarious Jennifer McAuliffe, aka Jen McAuliffe, aka Jennifer Jokes. And she
Yo.
yeah. Hey, I get to say that.
My name's Jhanelle, and I'm here to say I can make a joke in a hilarious way.
Let's not even let me do this whole intro in my Scarborough accent. I'm like, yo, guys, so our next guest is this yo. She's so dope, yo. Her name is Jennifer McAuliffe, and she was like a Toronto comic from Time, but now she's living in Brooklyn, and it's like, yo, like I said, like reach, and she did. I'm like, yo. Yeah. Anyways,
oh no!
I don't know if we'll need closed captioning on that
on the podcast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she's a hilarious Canadian comic. She's done comedy all over. She's touring, throughout the States. She was back in Canada this past weekend. I saw her there. She's doing some shows out there. She's an amazing writer, one of my favorite people on Twitter, and we're so lucky and happy to have her.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we are. My brain is dead today. Enjoy our episode with the wonderful Jennifer McAuliffe. Thank you. See you at the end. Yeah, we got fancy new curtains. So
yes.
Yeah, her doors are see-through kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Not totally see-through, but they're like the frosted glass kind of thing. And there's a light on the living room. Now my entire room is lit up. So finally a solution to your everyday problem.
I can tell you a story about that, but not on...
About accidental voyeurism? I'm familiar with it. I've gone up on my roof and just looked around and just witnessed things that I was not meant to witness.
Yeah. I've given up because if on that side, my room's on that side, and it faces the other apartments.
Yeah.
And
Across the street.
Yeah, you can see everything that's going on in there, so I know they can see me.
Yeah.
And I always used to go and be like, oh my god, my clothes coming off, run and shut the curtain. Now I just don't even care.
No, I have a lot of internal shame, but I don't have any shame about my physical body.
Yeah.
So I'm the train runs right beside my bedroom window.
That's it.
And it's 24 hours, as you know, both ways. Yeah. And I am constantly naked because it is 1,000,000 degrees on the 4th story. So, and we don't have air conditioning. So it's I'm just open blinds, naked at all times. The train is just people reading the newspaper going by, and I'm I hope there's no kids.
Enjoy! You know what, me and Jhanelle went up with my old roommate John. We went up to the roof one time, and we were standing on the roof just hanging out, and I guess we looked like cool kids, and we hear from across the strip, over the subway tracks, on the other side of the road, we hear, "Pose!" And we look up, and there's a woman hanging out of her window with her phone set up like a camera, and so we just strike poses. Random whatever. The picture's out there, and they take a few pictures, and then across they go, "What's your number?" And John, 1 digit at a time, yells the number across the street.
8, 4.
Yeah. And it didn't work, and we yelled back. They're like, "You get it?" We're like, "We didn't get it." And they had one number off, and then we got them, and we have the pictures now.
And also, some random person has our photo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
they're a neighbor.
number.
Just John's. Yeah, we stayed out of that.
Yeah, that's the cool stuff about living in New York. The bad stuff is definitely how dirty and gross it is,
Yeah.
which I am still not used to.
Dirtier than Toronto.
Oh my god!
Good lord!
I forgot about it until
Yeah.
this past weekend. And I'm like, oh my god! Like
This past weekend you visited?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
both there this
Yeah.
weekend. It makes here look like a dumpster landfill.
Well, it looks apocalyptic. Like I was in the
Yeah,
subway
yeah.
yesterday, and there was like a subway wall was like leaking this orange, I guess like rust
Sure.
liquid, and I was like, shouldn't somebody attend to that? Like,
Should
I know,
will
I know we're not spending a lot on the subway, but it's like some of it should go to scrubby bubbles. Like somebody should be wiping the walls down.
Yeah, even on the street out here, like you see
There's garbage everywhere.
everything. Like, do you see the tumbleweaves? Like
Yeah.
this hair.
Tumbleweeds.
braids?
Yeah.
Tumbleweeds. I've never. Is that a thing? Do people say that?
I didn't make it up. I can't take credit.
Oh, that's
but-
so good.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. Tumbleweeds.
Yeah, my dad.
Or what I did make up is the Brooklyn rattlesnake, which is just a single braid.
My dad was going through, I don't know, like collecting laundry or something at his house, and I was just over there, and he said that he put his hand in like one of the laundry bags and pulled out, and it was just like tangled wigs, like touching each other, just like hair extensions and like ponytails and everything. And I
Was
was
it
like,
yours?
Yeah, and I was like, Dad, don't touch that. That's my wigs, Dad.
That's gross. That's
Yeah,
real gross.
I know, but I don't have a good ponytail. Like I
No?
need the
The
length.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
I don't like that she's our standard for ponytails, but
I don't like that either,
Yeah.
but she was the first one to actually openly admit it and be celebrated for it.
Yeah.
That's the
Is that
difference.
true?
She had a sense of humor about it. Yeah.
is that true that she's the first pop culture
Yeah,
notable person who is like being celebrated for a ponytail?
No, for admitting that her hair isn't real.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not
and,
real.
And
Yeah.
like taking it off.
Because all of her
making
ponytails
jokes.
aren't real. Like her hair's short.
Oh. Yeah, this is what we call male ignorance.
Yeah.
I just assume it's all. I don't
In
know.
her song, the Mary Poppins sounding one, in the chorus, it goes, "You like my hair? Gee, thanks, just bought it."
Yeah.
And then
Oh
everyone's
yeah,
like, "We
you
stand!"
you referenced that in like episode 5.
Yeah, I think the second
My
episode
God.
or something.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, insiders. That's good. So we told you about the theme of the show.
Yeah. Anyways, enough about
What
this.
came now enough about Ariana Grande. What came to your mind when it besides your wigs being discovered by your dad?
For the topic.
Yeah. for the
Yeah.
show.
Okay. So these are some deep topics
Yeah,
that
hit me.
you sent me. And so I wrote down a couple little things.
Sure.
Look how
And-
professional you
You
are.
have a notebook with you. No one has a notebook with them on this show.
I try really hard.
I appreciate it.
It's actually surprising that I'm only where I am.
Oh my god.
Pretty disappointing, really, if you think about all the spreadsheets. Anyway, failures. So I dropped out of high school, which I guess would be a failure, seeing as I failed.
Where in high school? Like which grade?
So actually, in Canada, you need it was 5-year high schools when I was there, so
Okay.
it went up to essentially grade 13.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 'cause it was OAC.
That ended like right before I started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and to graduate, you needed, I think it was 16 compulsory courses, 14 electives. So you
Okay.
needed 30 courses total.
Sure.
And I had 30 courses or more than 30 courses. That was not a problem. But you needed to pass English. You needed 5 English credits.
Okay.
Oh.
Grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. OAC.
13. OAC. Okay.
And you needed, I think it was maybe 4. Maybe you needed 4 to graduate. And I, in high school, had none. Oh, no.
None?
Oh, no.
You're really just struggling through English.
Can't pass an English class. Cannot do it. Can't pay me to do
And
it.
you had to drop out of high school.
Oh, like I stayed to the end. And then I was
just
like,
didn't
well,
graduate.
this is it for me.
Oh.
Did you have to do victory lap? Or no, grade 13 was the victory lap.
Yeah.
So you just couldn't graduate because of English?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A language I speak.
Yeah.
And you're a writer.
I know.
Your entire job essentially is English.
Arguably, yeah. As a writer, yeah.
So what about these classes was difficult for teenage Jeb?
Well, I think, like, first of all, I grew up in, like, excessive dysfunction. Like, I didn't have a bedroom. Like, it was a rooming house. There was, like, people everywhere. And I worked after school every day and before school sometimes, too. So there wasn't, like, a lot of time to do homework. And then also, like, I cannot, for the life of me, write a sentence. I can't do it. I know that there's, like, parts of a sentence that need to be there. There's, like, participles of some kind. There's grammar. I can't do any of it.
Wow.
I can't stick to one tense. Like, I
have problems with that, too.
But people will, like, you know, I'll write something and they'll just, like, circle away, like, all the things that are wrong with it. And, like, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, okay, well, you're going to get it back. It's going to be different, but none of this is going to be addressed. I don't know what this is.
You're like, but how does it make you feel?
I know. Which is shocking because I do write a lot.
It seems pretty vital to your entire life.
Yeah.
This is such a shock because even seeing your tweets and your Twitter, I'm like, this is somewhat, like...
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like, you're a
Good at composition.
No, can't. Can't for the life of me. And once you take a sentence to a paragraph, oh boy, the wheels fall off.
Like 4 sentences in a row. Wow. Did you like reading as a kid? Or anything?
Oh yeah, I love reading.
So it was literally just like the writing aspect that
Yeah.
madness. I find that infuriating.
Oh yeah.
I had like an issue with the Toronto school system all of a sudden. I didn't know that did.
I absolutely feel it was a failure on the teacher's part.
Yeah.
Like because I'm such a keener. Look, I came with a paper and pen for this.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely one of those people that puts their hands up in class. So yeah. No, so that was and to make my career out of the one thing I couldn't do is a little self-defeating, don't you think?
That's inspiring.
That's
like Biggie.
That's
like Biggie in the opening of You Know Very Well.
Keep going.
He's like, the teachers that used to say I couldn't amount to nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not just out here trying to make some money to feed my daughter. It's all good, baby.
Yeah.
You know that one. Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, totally. I know.
Yeah.
I know all the Biggie.
I know that one.
Yeah.
No, that's like the one I know.
Oh, yeah?
That's the one about like the magazines and the limos and the That one's nice.
See, I don't know why I'm blanking on the most obvious, famous title song name of all time. But that's my failure
it's all
memory.
Good, it's good or whatever.
Yeah.
If
you don't know, now you know.
If you don't know, now you know.
Can't
There you go.
Yeah.
See, I don't even want it. My sister wanted that to be her wedding song, and just like the instrumental, and I was like, absolutely not. And then in the end, her and her now husband argued so much about it that they didn't have any music at their wedding.
No music.
It was like,
silent
wedding. Like a dry wedding. It was a silent wedding.
That's
the food was good.
I mean, it's got to be to make up for the lack of sound.
Yeah.
You can hear yourself chew.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
That's gross. Oh my gosh. Okay, so
wow. So
that's long in the past. I mean, high school for all of us is way back when. But I find that so. I mean, I grew up in the American school system. Not to say that our public school system is that fantastic. It's got a lot of problems, but I can't imagine. I can't imagine someone just not being good at a course and not getting any additional help and just having to whiff it every time. Like, what?
Oh yeah.
They didn't give you a tutor?
No,
that's
tutor. No, these were the
that's boggling. That's mind-boggling.
Harris years. Although I lie about my age, so nobody Google that. But it was during a time of extreme cuts to the education system in Canada.
We had a really bad premiere.
Yeah.
Weird.
It was a conservative premier, so, they're just put the kids in debtor's prison or whatever they want.
Oh, my Lord. And you said you were working and you were living in a...
Yeah, so I was living in a rooming house, which is like a
dorm? Or
yeah, it's kind of like a dorm. Like people would rent rooms for like a month or so.
Okay.
And so it was like
So it sounds like Hey Arnold is what it sounds like to me.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Dang
but
it.
I know the song.
It's great stuff. Well, Arnold he lives with his grandpa in like a boarding house kind of situation.
I
where
did not remember that at all.
Each room was a different occupant of a different.
Oh wow!
Kind of
okay,
that
like
kind
that.
of
But
gem.
it wasn't my grandparents.
That's
it was
good.
my parents. So there you
go.
go.
All right.
Yeah.
Did your parents own the house or?
So my parents owned the house, and it was during a recession.
Wow.
So they just did whatever they could to keep
Yeah.
the house. I was on team sell the house, get rid of the house. I
Take
was
the
like,
money and
let's
run.
move to an apartment. And my mom was like, because my parents are immigrants, she was like, an apartment? No.
Team, let more people in the house.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. Okay, and you were working too.
Yeah,
As
so
part of the
I
house or
would,
separately?
well, I had like things to do in the house. So there was 17 people living in the house. So I would have to like clean the bathrooms, do the dishes, that kind of stuff.
Whoa.
And then also, so at 6 a.m. I'd go over to a neighbor's house, which was directly across the street. So it's not like it was a big commute. But at 6 a.m. I'd go, and she was a nurse. So I took care of her kids until 9 when school started. And then I'd take them to school. Then school was 9 to 3:30. Then I'd go back to their house, take care of the kids till 6 because it's 12-hour shifts for nursing.
Yeah.
And then go back to my house, do my own chores, which were like dishes for 17 people and all that kind of stuff. And then maybe get some homework done, but like unlikely.
Wow.
And then go back to school.
You were nonstop.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where are your parents from?
My parents are from Ireland. Real
Okay.
sob story.
I mean, Ireland isn't exactly known for its happy demeanor.
Yeah. I think it's more of an attitude problem, to be honest. Like, they have it fine.
All right. Wow. All right. So you're first gen. Mm-hmm. And you're first gen Canadian.
You bet.
And I bet. And and you're working constantly in your place of in your house,
Yeah.
basically, where you live.
Yeah, but my parents always thought that the recession,
Yeah.
the rooming house, all this kind of stuff, they always thought it was like one more month. They were just like very, things are going to change, things are going to get better, like never planning for the future in that kind of way. So like they insisted on sending us to private schools, even though like we were literally living in a rooming house. Like it was so like, but they were like, things are going to change, like you're going to need this, you're going to need the connections you make and all that kind of stuff. But like, what connections could I make? It's not like I could hang out after school with these people or anything. Like,
That's wild.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's and how young were you working like this?
so we started the rooming house when I was 12.
Oh my God.
And then,
What?
yeah.
That's like the show Madeline.
What's that?
It's like
It's an orphanage.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. It wasn't
The
a
little
rooming
French
house?
orphan? Yeah.
Oh,
well, I
she's an
mean,
orphan.
that
And
was
she's
probably
French.
the same amount of people in the house.
all your feet to feet in the beds in one room, you know.
We are Catholic, so
Oh,
that
nice.
makes sense.
Oh my gosh! So you were doing that for so long. So so you finished school.
Okay.
Maybe not
yeah.
graduate, but you
Yeah.
finish it.
Well,
Which is-
of course you hated English, right?
Well,
Also,
I
right?
mean, I loved reading, but it was also like, oh, I had these terrible teachers. One teacher would make me do my essays even if they were late, but if they were late, she would mark it with a 0. So she wouldn't accept my most current one, so I could never catch up.
That's not good
Yeah.
teaching at all.
And so, like, I'd write the essay, and then she'd, like, take great joy to write a big 0, like, fill the whole page with the 0 and hand it back to me in front of me. And I was just
oh my
like,
god.
yeah.
That's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could have, if you had known that, you would have just not written the paper. At
No,
all.
but there was no way to not write the paper, because
She
if I don't...
insisted you wrote it.
Yeah, because I
Write
had
it.
a backlog. So if I didn't write all the papers I owed her, I would never catch up, which I never did.
Oh my God.
That sounds like a horror film.
That's a
Oh
nightmare.
yeah, no, I wouldn't go back in time. I wouldn't go back to yesterday for all the tea in China. Like, oh god, the past, disgusting. Ugh.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
All right. So that happens. What happens afterwards? Where do you go?
So then, so I'm like 18, 19. I start working at a hospital in the emergency room, sick kids.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, so then I'm doing admitting there.
Oh my Lord.
And it was a good job at the time. It paid $14.75, which was a huge amount of money.
Oh yeah.
Again, don't check the dates. And and I was
Canadian
working,
money. That's so much.
Oh yeah, it's a big $10
Yeah.
American. And I was working probably like 70-hour weeks. Yeah,
What?
yeah.
Oy. And I
Trying
mean,
to pull myself up by my bootstraps.
oy, as good. I mean, as wonderful a position as it would be to work in a children's ward. Mm-hmm. I can't think of a more of a nightmare scenario than
Oh my
working in a
God.
children's ward.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
One time,
And Sick Kids Hospital specializes in like the most sad.
yeah, the most tragic.
Diseases.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I was in emergency room, and I remember once this guy came in, and he was like covered in blood, and he was like shell shocked. He was so scared, And he just, like, sat down in the chair in front of me and was just like, ugh. And I was like, did you bring a child here? Like, he didn't have a kid with him. And he was like, yeah. And then he, like, went to get her health card out so that I could, like, register her. And he put, like, a Ziploc bag with ice and a finger on the table. And I was like, I was like, I think the doctor needs that. You should go bring it to them. We'll register her later. Oh, my God.
It was the kid's finger?
Yeah, because I guess the kid, like, caught the finger in a door and it just came off.
Oh,
in a door?
my God.
Oh, no.
And I was, like, 19. All of my friends were off losing their virginities, having fun in university, and I'm there, like, just, like, scrubbing my hands with bleach every night, just being like, oh, this is disgusting.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I can't. Woof. All right, so what do you do from there?
And that makes
that's-
me feel so entitled. Be like working retail at 19 at a clothing store. Be like, oh, another 4-hour shift.
I didn't even work at 19.
What?
I didn't start working until I was 20. Yeah, no, that's... I mean, I did, like, jobs here and there, like,
Yeah.
with the whole Jewish music thing, but, like, oh, my Lord.
I'm sorry, the what?
I'm, for a long time, my main gig, and still is to a degree, was performing Reformed Jewish music as a song leader and, like, kind of like worship leader type stuff.
Oh, like a cantor.
Less degrees. Less cantor, more youth pastor.
Oh, great.
Think that
Okay.
more that way, but Jewish.
Yeah.
But like I oh my Lord, that was your first job outside of the
I
rooming?
think I had, like, probably, like, 8 jobs before that one, but that was my first job out of high school.
How did you get that? Your resume must have been on point.
Oh, yeah, I didn't lie about my age, but I just, like, didn't acknowledge that I was a teenager. I just, like, went in, like, a Le Chateau blazer.
Wow.
Le
Yeah.
Chateau was a Canadian store that was known for its
Blazers?
its power working woman aesthetic.
Yeah,
Okay.
but, like, you couldn't...
Pantsuits.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it was, like, polyester that, like, you couldn't clean. Like, it was just, like, it doesn't matter what you did to it.
Oh my Lord.
But yeah, so before I had that job, I was working in doctor's offices and,
Okay.
like, as a teenager, like, doctor's offices and, what's that called? Travel agency. I was like,
Sure.
yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I was always working. And then, so I did that from 19 to maybe 23, 24,
Yeah.
something like that.
At that point, did you think that you were going to pursue a career in healthcare?
Oh, that's
or-
so charming. A career? Oh, that's so nice. No, I thought I was going to work at that desk until I died. Well, because, I mean, I never finished high school. I didn't have any opportunities. I didn't have any, like, family support. My family couldn't have supported me anyway, even if they wished to. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no, this was just, like, the best job that I could get. And I signed up for the pension and everything. And I was like, this is who I am. This is what I am. And then, so I saved up all my pennies. I didn't buy anything for over a year. Like, didn't buy a coffee, didn't buy anything.
Wow.
Didn't buy any clothes, anything. I was, like, wearing rags. And I saved up everything. And I think I was making $27,000 a year gross. Mm-hmm. And then taxes came off of that. So then I have, like, $20,000 maybe.
Okay.
And then I saved up $13,000, which is, like, a huge amount.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially off of what I was making.
Yeah.
And so I saved $13,000, bought a condo downtown Toronto.
Whoa.
Yeah, at 20, I think I was 21 or 22. And
Bought
obviously,
it. Not
like,
rented, bought it.
bought it, and there was no, like,
What?
yeah. And, like, my parents didn't sign for it or anything. It was just me.
Whoa.
No
Yeah.
cosigner.
No cosigner. Yeah.
You just own a condo.
No. Oh, I wish. I sold it.
Okay, I'm sure
yeah.
it was for a good purpose. And,
Yeah.
And hopefully you made money on it.
Oh, yeah. No, I made money off of it. And then I started comedy. And why? Why did I do that? Why? What mistakes I made in my life? But yeah, so I had this condo, and it had a pool and a gym, and it was awesome. It was at Queen and University.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's like
Yeah.
Toronto's financial,
Yeah.
almost financial, no, fashion district.
Kind of, yeah.
Somewhere in the middle.
Financial.
Yeah. between the two.
Fashion and finance.
So what in the name of God compels you to leave that and go for comedy?
Well, I just wasn't happy, and I think I was getting burnt out because, yes, as a teenager and in your 20s, you have a lot more energy than you do later in life, but I think, the 18-hour shifts and all this stuff and, working in a hospital, it was just too draining. And my boss was a real dick. She'd just, kind of pick on me for anything. I don't know, if I was talking to a client or a patient, she'd, tell me that, I was speaking too loud. And I was like, it's a very, people are scream crying. I need to be heard over them. And, no, I never got any complaints or anything like that. Just from the boss being like, I don't like the volume of your voice. And I was like, you just don't like me.
Oh, my Lord.
Which is an option. You don't have to like me. So I quit that. And then I thought, okay, well, I'll go to university. Because I was always smart. I always was gifted and everything. So then I went off to university and did fine in some things, not well in others. And then, then I became a comic.
How?
Oh, my Lord. Whiplash.
Am I doing the podcast right?
You're doing great.
Yeah.
We still got 7 minutes. You're nailing it. You're doing great.
Do I have to call my therapist?
I mean, hopefully this helps a little bit.
Phone a friend, but it's a therapist.
Yeah.
Okay, so I started comedy because I've always been funny, and I thought I'd be good at it. And so I took a class, so in the class, we had to write for 20 minutes or 10 minutes or something, free writing.
Okay.
About whatever popped into your head and just keep the pen on the paper, don't pick it up for a second. And I wrote about my dream funeral scenario, which would be a full Egyptian, mummification.
Oh, my God.
And, just death mask, the whole thing. And I described the whole thing on paper. And we're, in a class, there's everybody else writing about their thing. And so, I wrote it, and it was, 5 pages of just, exactly how I want my funeral to go. And then everybody's reading, what their thing is, and their things are, hanging curtains is hard because when you're by yourself and it's tipping over, and I was I think I didn't understand that.
Maybe I went too far with the mummy thing.
But then when I read it out, everybody laughed, and they were like, oh, I've never heard that before.
And then that made you feel away inside.
Yeah, and I was
getting that laughter.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm good at something. I'll do this. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's how I started comedy. I guess a story of failure.
In and of itself.
Yeah.
And then I got somewhere. I gotta ask, I'm gonna ask all of our guests, something that brings you comfort, but you said you didn't buy anything for a year.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're, what do you do? What do you do with all that time?
To make yourself feel better.
Oh, this was before self-care. So that wasn't an issue.
You just laid and stared at the ceiling? And
No, I just worked doubles. So it was 14-hour
Jen.
days. But I did take taxis to work and home because I was too tired to take the subway. So I did that.
That's
that was the only thing I
think
paid.
that's okay.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. And everybody was on me about it. Everybody's like, you can't take taxis. And I was like, I'm so tired.
This is all I have. All right, well, we asked our guests, I said, what's one thing that brings you comfort? So it could have been after, it could be a thing now.
Yeah.
Just you have a rough day. You sound, from all this, seem like a pretty resilient person.
Yeah.
So I don't think much paralyzes you in terms of freezing food in your tracks. But
No.
what helps you out when you need it?
Okay, so things that I really like, just really makes me feel great is clean sheets on a bed.
Oh, yes. I support this fully.
Getting into clean sheets, nothing like it. I do like taking baths. I don't shower. I have to shower in New York because I have 5 roommates, but in Toronto or anywhere else, I don't shower. I just take baths.
Dang.
Which people think is dirtier, and I'm like, mind your business.
I told Courtney this in the last episode, but I haven't fit in a bathtub in a very long time. So one day I'll go buy one. And I can fit in. It'll be great.
Oh, yeah.
Big moment.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Taking a bath is just it's just so nice. It's like swimming, but you don't do anything. You're just hanging out.
About speaking of swimming, hopefully this will bring you some... I'm not sure if it'll bring you comfort or joy, but it's going to bring me maybe saving my life. Jen's going to teach me how to swim.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We were on a show
You don't know how to
together. No, we were on a show together on Sunday, and I have this bit. I've been closing on this bit about how I went to swimming lessons as a child and came out at the end of it still not knowing how to swim. Because my instructor said I was too anxious.
Yeah.
And I just
What a
tensed
dick.
up and I sank. And so then afterwards, Jen's like, like, I really like that. But like for real, you are not crazy. Like you are probably actually sinking for real. But I understand that and I'm going to teach you.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, I'm so embarrassed. Like that's my biggest failure. I'm so embarrassed of just like having people see me try and learn how to do that. And not like,
Asking for help is hard.
It is. And also...
But also people seeing you fail over and over at something that kids are doing.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That's how I felt about riding bikes for most of my life. But
You don't know how to ride a bike?
I didn't learn how to ride a bike till I was like 13.
Yeah.
And so my mom and I went into like a library parking lot. And
Yeah.
she's just like, you need to learn how to do this. I'm like, I'm scared.
But doesn't that just say it all? That at 13 you thought, I'm so behind that I can't start now?
Yeah.
And it's like, you're 13. And people feel that way until the day they die. They're like, oh, it's too late to start now. And it's like, no, tomorrow's too late to start. Start today.
Wow, I never even thought of that. I'm just like 30 years old on a boat being like, this could be my last moment.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, for me, it's like, water safety is very important. I used to work in a hospital, so I'm like, it's very important. I don't want to scare anybody, but it's very important.
That's dark.
And,
That's dark. No wonder your comedy's dark. That's dark.
I also used to work at a morgue, but we only have a couple minutes. And then,
oh my God.
Yeah. And then, so swimming is like mostly mental and partly physical. So I have enough meat on my bones that I will float a little, whether I want to or not. And so, no matter how desperately I want to sink.
How many rocks I put in my pocket?
It's never enough.
The mafia's like, God damn it.
We said swim, not float. But it's people's different bodies, especially like long, wiry people. It's your body doesn't float as easily because there's not enough fat with air in it. And then also just, mentally, like, thinking that you're going to sink does make you sink. But also, of course, you're going to, like, you're a physical property in water. It feels like you should sink.
Yeah.
Like, your mind isn't wrong.
Yes, thank you. You're the first person to ever articulate that to me.
Your body is better at swimming than your brain is.
Yeah, in my head, I always thought, I'm like, well, like, boats do it, people do it, but in my head, when I'm in the water and I'm just, like, doing this, I'm like, this doesn't make sense for this little liquidy thing that I can drink right now to hold me up.
Yeah.
I am a small boulder in
Yeah.
an ocean, and I must sink.
Yeah.
But you're going to
you
learn.
got through.
And it's going to be adorable. And it's going to be friends. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And it's going to be safe. I'm going to be so excited that you're going to be safe. And,
This is great.
yeah, you don't have to be the best swimmer in the world. Just give it a shot, you know? Yeah. And I mean, like, I teach people things I'm a real dumbass and I don't know a lot, but I can teach anybody anything that I know. Like, literally any single person, I can teach them anything that I know.
What about tweeting? You're really
I
good
can
at
teach
that.
you how to tweet in an afternoon.
What makes a good tweet?
So a tweet has to be succinct. A lot of it is joke structure, right? So that you think it's going one way and it goes a different way. The great thing about tweeting is that you read left to right, so you can bury the joke just by having enough words away, you know? Like the surprising word at the end. And people aren't reading with the same kind of, like, jumping to the prediction that people are in a room. Like, when you're telling a joke, people are thinking, like, oh, I wonder where this is going to go. And they're, like, in on the joke. But Twitter, people are following, like, very serious journalists, and then you, and then, like, Ariana Grande. So, like, nobody's, like, jumping to the prediction. So that's really fun. And because there is a word limit, you can't get confused with the sentence. So
Can't
you
get
just
rambly.
have to... Yeah. Which helps me.
So your weakness became your greatest strength.
Absolutely.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Well,
Look at that.
The theme music is going to kick in right now. It sounds like getting in a sitcom. It's like your weakness
It's
became
gonna
your
be John
greatest
Parr
strength.
St. Elmo's Fire.
Higher and higher! Follow Jen on Twitter and Instagram at JenniferJokes and hire her. She's new to New York. Give her some help and some love. Thanks, guys.
Not that she needs help, but be one of the be like one of those hipsters. Be one of the people that knew about her first before she gets super famous.
True.
So if you enjoyed the show, tell a friend before we get super famous, and please leave us a review on iTunes. It helps word about the show spread like bad GPA. That's how that works, right?
Sure, man. It's like an infection. And, of course, make sure you're subscribed to easily download new episodes. I'm Trying is hosted, edited, produced, and scored by Jhanelle Dennis and B. Jacob Derwin. Our cover art was created by the fabulous Sammy Kappa. See more for work at sammykappa.com. That's SAMICAPPA.com.
And you can follow the show on Twitter and Instagram at ImTryingShow. And if you want, you can follow us individually at Jhanelle Dennis and Jacob Derwin.
If you've screwed up or embarrassed yourself and are looking for help,
Or pity.
reach out to us on Twitter or email at ImTryingShow@gmail.com, and our team of crisis experts
It's just us, man.
will be more than happy to assist you.
Reasonably happy.
Thank you so much for listening, and in the words of Pink Floyd,
Hey,
teacher,
teacher,
leave them kids alone.